At the last event of the year here, I come to find out my tire pressure gauge is reading 6 to 7 psi off, and I've been running my tires at like 45 psi the entire year. Yeah, so that was actually what's been going on the entire year. I've been running my tires at 45 psi approximately because the tire pressure gauge was reading a bit off. And I found that out because Alex asked to use my gauge when we were in grid because we were kind of next to each other, and he handed it back and he's like, respectfully, like, this is totally off, dude. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went behind and used Emily's, and yeah, it was definitely off by like 6 psi. So I kind of calibrated it in my head. You know, I knew that now I gotta set mine, 6 psi lower, but it kind of sucks because I've had that gauge for 5 years, and I'm just learning now that apparently you need to replace them about every year. So that's fun, awesome. Not only that, but from these pictures you can definitely see that my tires have seen better days too. Again, I'm not gonna try to harp on it, but when you do a lot of events, it just kind of catches up with you eventually. But overall, for being the last event of the year, it was a pretty good course. The car was handling okay, except for my afternoon runs where I just couldn't get any better. That's when I found out about the tire pressure gauge, and then, driving the car the entire year like that and then lowering them by, 6 to 7 psi, it makes a big difference. So the feel was totally different, and, I couldn't get better in the afternoon just from lowering the pressures like that. Okay, so here I go sitting at the line for my last run in the morning, which was my best. Setting off here, just getting a good normal shift in, pretty straight, and then you got a trail brake into this section here, but make sure you get back on power to get down to this next corner. And then this one here was just linking the whole thing up so you get a good run into the straightaway. That was pretty key. And this section was kind of hard because I tried going to third at one point. I was on the rev limiter here a lot. It felt best in second. Get through this trail braking section, kind of thread the needle through here, keep looking up, make sure you get in for this last cone on the left here, and you're through the finish and done. Yeah, so that was my best for the day. Run number 3, unfortunately, couldn't improve in the afternoon, but overall the tires were just kind of not really working for me today. Messing around with the pressures a lot, making them lower. I couldn't get a good feel for them, within 3 runs to actually try to go fast, so it is what it is. I'm going to get a new pressure gauge definitely for next year. For the rest of the events this year, I'm going to be using something different for sure. But yeah, that was it. I had a pretty good season overall. Didn't get my highest place that I've ever gotten, but I got my highest amount of points scored for overall Driver of the Year points. A lot of good events, a lot of high scoring events. My best high scoring event at a Steel Cities event too, multiple times actually. So super awesome. Kind of proud of myself. I think I did a lot of learning and got back to doing some national events too, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's a wrap for Steel Cities SCCA for this year, and stay tuned for more North Park videos for the rest of this year. But other than that, signing out for doing pit race and Steel Cities events for this year.